Hey everybody, welcome to my year-end Game of the Year list. 2020 was the worst year imaginable, from the threat of World War III on my birthday, mind you. Australia and the entire West Coast being on fire, as of late, snow and rain in California. Oh, and that pesky little global pandemic and the Karens spreading COVID-19 more than a porn star spreads their legs. One good thing did come out of 2020, and that's the quality of video games we got. I played a total of 9 of them this year. 9 games that came out this year, I should specify. And I honestly didn't completely hate and despise a single one of them. Last year I had to do a worst of the year list because of how much AAA shit was shoveled out in such a hurry. Bugs, terrible gameplay, overpriced, you just name it, it was there. This year, not so much. Just like I did last year, I'm doing another bracket. It's on screen now. I have separated them into groups based on genre, and I'll be going through each in order, starting from anime games, then on to horror games, action, and finally FPS. You may notice that Cyberpunk isn't on this list. Seeing how that game's launch was a rolling dumpster fire on wheels, it and CD Projekt Red deserve no recognition. None. It's the biggest failure in history in gaming. They deserve nothing. But seeing how the Game Awards give Game of the Year to the worst games of the year 2 years in a row, mind you, I'm sure that's a shoo-in to win next year. Don't you worry your little heads about that. You may also notice that Ghost of Tsushima is all by its lonesome. That's the obvious Game of the Year pick. The winner of A tier will go up against Ghost, and the winner will be crowned Ultimate Game of the Year 2020. I also didn't realize how hard a 9-team bracket was to build. Let's start. First up for A tier is anime. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot versus My Hero One's Justice 2. This one is fairly easy for me. First off, I love both shows. Absolutely no question that they are the pinnacle of shonen anime. And both games are extremely, extremely similar. Both tell the story of the anime. In MHA 2, you fight your way through the plot of Season 4, and in Kakarot, you beanbag your way through Dragon Ball Z. And that's why Kakarot moves on. Remember when I said you fight your way through the plot of MHA Season 4? That's only partially true, because you only play through the Overhaul arc. Yes, that arc is 75% of the season, and Overhaul is amazing as a main villain, and Kellengoff is incredible as him in the dubs. The best part of Season 4, in my opinion, is the school festival. We just watched Deku beat the big bad of the season, all while going 100% full cowling for the first time and sustaining it with Erie's help. The school festival is the come down, it's the cool off. We get Miro trying to regain his powers, Irie getting to know the world outside of the Shie Haisekai, the realization that All Might will die, and the conclusion to Jiro's arc that started in Season 3. Remember when she started being coy about her musical abilities? It pays off in Season 4's end. And yeah, while I love Overhaul, Gentle has a better backstory, I feel. I wish you got to play through that and Endeavor's first fight as the #1 hero against the Flying Nomu with Hawks' help. That would have been so much more to this game. Even if there was a DLC chapter or something like that, it would have just raised this game up so much more. I understand Gentle is supposed to be coming as a DLC fighter. That's not a story thing. Also, you put fucking Kendo in, and oh god, is her name May? I think? They're two what the hell? Hawks, got it. Gentle, got it. The middle two are the questions that I have. But anyway, in Kakarot, you play through all of Z. From fighting Raditz all the way to Boo and everything in between. The DLCs add, terribly so, by the way, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, they're working on another big expansion, quote-unquote, big story expansion. My bet's on all of Super. That would be so freaking great for that game. From Universe 6 vs 7 to Goku Black to Tournament of Power. That'd be fantastic. Maybe even the Broly movie. That'd be dope. That'd be great. Like, you play all of Z. The only thing that would have made it better is if you actually started out in Dragon Ball. Because no game has done that yet. None. I've seen the story all the way through so many times in so many different media. I just want a Dragon Ball game playing as Kid Goku. Meeting Krillin for the first time. Meeting Bulma. Oh my god, Yamcha's this badass leader of a fucking street gang. General, what the hell is his name? Taipei? That it? Uh-oh. Mercenary Tao. Also known as Tao Pai Pai. Him. He's got the fucking, you know, if you know, you know. I would have loved that. But everything I said, how could I not pick Kakarot for this? Next is horror. More specifically, horror game sequels. Not too many originals coming out this year that I saw. Technically this is sequels. It's the RE3 remake up against Perfect Dark Anthology Little Hope. This one is also easy for me. Last year it was RE2 versus Manamidon in the semifinals, with RE2 barely edging out Manamidon. This year, in the continuing war, it seems, between Capcom and Supermassive, Little Hope wins. Don't get it twisted, I loved both games, and RE3 had its scary moments, but I feel they leaned into the action horror more than survival horror a lot in that game, whereas Little Hope, it's just the Silent Hill sequel we all needed. It's steeped in lore and mystery, and you never really know what's going on until the very end, unless you're really smart or maphead. Plus, that LP was so super fun. It's the most fun I've had recording an LP. It just gave me so much material to riff on, like, Andrew's concussion, or Angela just being the fucking worst. My god, Angela was the worst. So right now, as it stands, the series is all tied up 1-to-1 with 2021 being the potential end of the war. Capcom, this is without foreseen delays, by the way, if everything goes smoothly. Capcom has Resident Evil Villages, RE8, and Supermassive has House of Ash. I know there are rumors that Capcom are working on an RE4 remake set for 2022, and yes, Supermassive are still on course to have 5 games total in the Dark Pictures anthology. Capcom are gonna have a lot of pressure on them to make the RE4 make as good as the original, because that game is perfect in my eyes. And I don't see Supermassive fucking up the Dark Anthology anytime soon. They're gonna keep releasing bangers. All I know is that Oktoberfest Spooktacular 6, October 2021 is gonna be amazing. That's what I'm saying. Next up is action games. Last of Us Part 2 versus Watchdog Legion. I have a lot to say about one, and almost nothing to say about the other, so strap in, and do get your angry comments ready. Last of Us 2. I know some people shit on this game because they're incels and they had fantasies of fucking an underage girl, but those dreams were ruined because that underage girl was into other girls. Yes, this is true. I'm a normal person, so I had none of those fantasies, and I actually really liked Ellie and Dana's relationship. Very much so. Like, really. I also know a lot of people shit on the game because of the gameplay. I have no problem with slow-paced gameplay if the story can deliver. See the fact that my favorite game of 2019 was Death Stranding. That game was a UPS simulator, also pretty much called the pandemic. To a T. But that had a slow gameplay style, but the story was so amazing. My problem with Last of Us 2 is the story. The whole think about your actions and feel bad for the people you're killing shtick felt really weird at a lot of points and very, very unnecessary. Sure, they kill the people you liked, but maybe they feel bad about it.
Make the Soviet Union
No, that's not how things work, Neil. That's absolutely not how shit works, ever. You don't get to kill Joel and expect me to take the moral high ground on everybody that did it. That's not how revenge plots work. The chicken I spit on your grave wasn't like, I know you raped me and left me for dead, but I get where you're coming from. No. No. As the audience, we want to see those who wronged our main character get what's coming to them. That's how revenge plots work. We feel good when those people that screwed us over or hurt those we cared about get their comeuppance. The main problem lies with our main character, Ellie, being a one-note character. All she wants is revenge, to the point where she abandons finding Tommy with Jesse because Abby might be at the aquarium. That leads her to killing Owen and Mel. If not for showing remorse after realizing Mel was pregnant, she would have just been a soulless killing machine, and it would have fit her character perfectly, honestly. It's even weirder when you factor in that we actually play as Abby almost immediately after that scene. Even worse, that 9+ hours, yeah, I counted, that 9+ hours of the game made Abby the more likable and sympathetic character out of the two. And honestly, I liked every character we got to know except for Ellie. I liked Jesse, I liked Dana, I liked Tommy from the first game. He became a dick at the end, but I still liked him. Mel, Abby, Manny. I liked all of them. Ellie has no personality outside of revenge. That's why I hate the story so much, because it shows signs of being something great. But Naughty Dog didn't know how to make Ellie a sympathetic revanchist. Yes, that's a real word, look it up. She's just a sociopath who wants nothing more than to kill Abby to the point where she abandons her quiet family life with Dana to follow another lead that crackpot Tommy got. The only thing that puts her over Abby is that Abby showed no remorse when she almost killed Dana. But even then, it's pitting sociopath versus psychopath. And to paraphrase Brian Hines, the last angry geek on Twitter, it's the first combat-heavy game where, by the end, I just wanted the violence to stop. And maybe that's the point of it. I don't know. It was overly violent for no reason at all. Like, the first game wasn't as violent, and that had a weird cannibalistic cult in it. The story also feels like they had two ideas for the story and just mashed them all together. I said it in the LP that I would have rather had the Abby part of the game be the game, or at the very least the first half of the game, with the twist towards the middle being we were hunting Joel all along. Then we play as Ellie, going after them, or you just make the Abby part of the a DLC. I get world building and storytelling, but it felt so disjointed with all the flashbacks, and the flashbacks in flashbacks that were flashbacks in other flashbacks. And speaking of unnecessary plot points, why throw in another faction 60 minutes before the game ends? I get that we couldn't have full health Abby against full health Ellie, because Abby would fucking kill Ellie in an instant. And in fact, almost did in the theater. Actually, that wasn't even full health Abby. That was... I was just on a fucking Seraphite island fighting for survival, and now I'm here to kick your ass and kill you and your pregnant wife. Well, she wasn't wife then. You get it, though. But the end, Ellie almost killing a malnourished, dehydrated, quite frankly, broken Abby wouldn't have been a satisfying ending either. Every part of the writing in this game is so one-note and god-awful. The thing that made the first game great is that every character we meet had a unique personality and stood out. I'll remember David and his cult of cannibals because they were memorable. I don't remember anything or anyone from the Seraphites or the Wolves outside of Abby's group. I don't even remember, oh god, the two that were with her. Oh, actually, well, the chick that died, but her brother that was with her. I don't remember her, him, I don't remember any of them. On top of that, it's just a depressing game to play. I couldn't record more than one episode at a time because the game is so fucking dour all the time. Every time I booted the game up, the question was, who's gonna die? And why is it? Because Naughty Dog doesn't know what else to do with them. The first game was a complete opposite of that. No matter what they threw at me, I just wanted to keep playing. The perfect thing is when Joel and Ellie meet the two brothers. And it's like, oh, the one who was bit. And then the shocking thing of, oh, he shot his brother, and then he shoots himself in the fucking head, and then smash cut. 6 months later. That, I was like, holy shit, what happens next? Not this game. Complete opposite. And you know what's worse? You know it's bad when I contemplated recording Evil Within over Last of Us 2 several times. This is real. I hate the Evil Within. I thought that was a better recording experience. And please don't get me started on the dogs in this game or how Neil Druckmann clearly is a fucking liar in need of a psych evaluation, and the fact that Peter should be knocking down his door every goddamn day. Thank God for the enemies that scream their dead friends' names. That at least gave me some enjoyment in this game. Actually, it might be the only enjoyment in this game. Watchdog Legion. I liked the first game. Nothing's really changed except we're in London now and not Chicago. The combat feels kinda better. The fact that you can play as literally anyone is a cool gimmick. So I guess Watch Dogs Legion actually does something different with the franchise and improves on it. Something Last of Us 2 did not. Legion moves on. I need a drink of water. And for the final round, FPS first-person shooters is Doom Eternal versus COD Blops Koa. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, for those who don't know, code that I've made up and only me. I can actually hold both of these games up to the same standards this year. That's actually quite interesting. Both are first-person shooters, both have a story mode, and both have multiplayer mode. And I can sum up my pick very easily. Cold War story mode doesn't matter, and Doom Eternal's multiplayer doesn't matter. And because of that, Doom Eternal moves on. Doom Eternal is also fun as hell to play. Probably the most fun game I've played this year. Even though it can get repetitive towards the end, and it just bogs down with, hey, beat wave after wave after wave. It's still fun to play, and the story is metal as fuck. Whereas Cold War is a spy thriller centered around the worst US president of all time, Ronald Reagan, and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation in the 1970s. The weird twist here is I'm going to be playing Cold War probably well into 2021, whereas Doom Eternal is uninstalled until further notice. Hell, more than likely, the gameplay you're watching is probably Cold War gameplay, so Doom Eternal still wins. Now for the fun part. Semi-final speed round. First, it's Kakarot versus Little Hope. While both games are fun and a joy to experience, the winner is Little Hope. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I know the Frieza and Cell sagas like the back of my key blasts. I said it before in the main part. I don't need to relive them again. Little Hope was new and exciting, and had some decent twists along the way. That's why it moves on. And lastly, Doom Eternal versus Legion. Doom Eternal moves on. Why? Much like Cyberpunk, Legion was full of glitches, bugs, and crashes. So much so that it took 7 patches to make it stop crashing. This is real. Every patch they put out was like, oh, we're fixing a bug that made it crash while you were standing still opening a menu. Sorry. Finals of A tier at least. Doom Eternal versus Little Hope. Little Hope wins. For the same reason I gave as to why it beat the RE3 remake and Kakarot. It's something new. Doom Eternal was Doom with a sequel skin over it. It was fun to play. It's just nothing new. Like I said before, it got repetitive towards the end of the game, so much so that I wasn't enjoying it as much as I was when I started. And like I said with Little Hope, I'm just repeating myself. It was fun, new, interesting. It moves on. The moment you've all been waiting 22 minutes to see me say. See me say? Hear me say. Ultimate Game of the Year 2020. Little Hope versus Ghosts of Tsushima. By the smallest of margins, and I mean microscopic margins, my Game of the Year 2021 is Ghosts of Tsushima. I said it at the top. It was that part in the beginning where I said it was the obvious game of the year pick. Yeah, that was not a joke. I loved both games, don't get me wrong, and even though I haven't finished Ghost of Tsushima yet, it's head and shoulders above every other game this year. I did like Little Hope for its spooky atmosphere and its lore and all that other stuff. Ghost of Tsushima gameplay is spot on. Its parkour is spot on, which I guess you could put in gameplay, but separate parts. Combat, smooth. Parkour, amazing. Setting, holy shit, I'm biased here, yes. I love feudal Japan. So it's an automatic win. I love samurai culture. It's a win, yes. Is it a little cliche? Holy shit, what isn't nowadays? Like, it's a samurai story about restoring honor to oneself and potentially your entire family and taking back what is yours. What game hasn't done that? Doom Eternal literally did it. Fucking Cold War did it. Legion does it. Like, Last of Us 2 does it. Like, it moves on. Like, it's the best game of the year. I was really hoping, absolutely hoping, it would be Ghost of Tsushima against Cyberpunk. And I would just be sitting here going, I guess I'm just gonna end the episode like the finale of The Sopranos and cut to black mid-sentence. And it's like, who won? You'll never know. It's a mystery. But Cyberpunk was the drizzling shits. So Ghost of Tsushima is automatically the winner. It's fairly obvious. It got screwed out of the Game Awards. Cause sheep, bah. I don't know what you want me to tell me. Like I said, if you got hate comments, leave them in the description. Hell, they'll boost the algorithm, now won't they? It's a win-win for me. If I piss off Last of Us 2 fans, bazinga! Sure, man. Just like the video, I don't care. I couldn't care less about that fan base. Absolutely. Last of Us 3 is gonna happen. I'll sit down and play it. Because God, it can only go up from here. But that'll do it for now. I do plan on doing another best of the year video. One that I haven't done before. So stick around for that, I guess. But I want to thank you all for watching. Yeah, God, 2020, 2021. Nothing's really coming out that I know of, and I said that in the channel update that I posted the day before this. So there's that. I am where it takes me. We're gonna see what happens, what comes out, what I play, what I don't play. I don't know what like game of the year category is gonna be like next year, but shit, it's gonna be fun, isn't it? But I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, super kick that like button. Check out my channel for more videos I have done, more gameplays, more let's plays, you name it, it's there. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, goodbye.
Multiple enemy spy plane contacts. Victory's close. Make us proud. Hostile care package inbound. Hostile care package inbound. Enemy spy plane inbound. Mission area secured. You made JSOC proud.
Mission parameters are green across the board.